Let's start our today's topic, that is unit number 6, CPM and PERT. Okay, so what is in this, what we are going to learn, or another way this is also called as networking. Okay, so what is this in this networking or CPM PERT that we are going to study today. This is our last unit, that is unit number 6. So if you look at to the introduction, where this particular CPM and PERT is utilized, why it is introduced in the subject like OR, what is the significance of this particular CPM and PERT or networking. So all of we are knowing that we are in industry, we are working on different projects. Is it right? So always we are working on projects, and once that project is get finished, we are looking to the new projects. Is it right? That new projects always, or every project always require these 4 stages: planning, scheduling, controlling, and last one is the execution. Okay, so these 4 parts are there of any projects are very important, and it is not like that we are once we, let's say this is the first project, so I will write here one project. Okay, so you are starting some planning, then scheduling, then we can say controlling, and last one is execution. Okay, so whatever these 4 stages are there, you are carried these particular stages for one project. Let's say this project is finished, then you have to go for second project. It is not like that whatever projects planning you are used for first project, for this particular project, it may be used for second project. Is it right? Or any different answer from your side? What I have asked, whether what stages we are using, whether that stages are similar to second project, or for second projects the planning, scheduling, controlling may be different. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? For second project, whatever the steps you require, planning, etc., whether these are used for first project you can use, or for second project it must be different. Make it fast, please give me answer. Nikita, what is your opinion? Rohan, Rakesh, Shubham, what is your opinion? For first project, whatever we have used the planning process, or whatever we have made plan, whether this plan is useful for second project, or we have to make new plan. Yes, same. Shubham is saying new plan, Nikita is saying same plan. Nikita, how we can use same plan? Can you explain it little bit? Please unmute. At the time of attendance, you are giving.
It depends on the project.
But you are here, you are written same.
Yes, sir. It depends on project.
Yeah, it is depends on project. So let's take the example. So understand this. I will just rub this part. So let's take example. We are starting building the house. Okay. So हाऊस बिल्डिंग, आपल्याला घर बांधायचं. घर बांधण्यासाठी काय काय गोष्टी गरजेच्या असतात, कोण सांगू शकेल? Shubham, please unmute. Nikita, Rakesh, please unmute and tell me what stages are required in house building project. आपल्याला घर बांधायचं आहे, हाऊस बिल्डिंग. What stages are there? Can anybody tell me? Nikita, please tell me what stages are required. Shubham, Rakesh, anybody, please unmute and please tell. Be fast, please reply. Ritvik, Soham, Rakesh, Shubham, please unmute and be fast. Give me the answers. Rahul, okay. Plan, place of building, okay. Good. Next, this is only one thing. One planning is required. Shubham, instead of typing, can you unmute?
Bricks, steel rods.
Okay, that is construction material, we can call it. But planning, in planning, what is there? So we require place. Is it right? Then we require a particular plan of house building. It should be sanctioned from some authority like municipality or some etc. Is it right? And then we require some so this is, we can call it as the pre-planned thing. Then we have to go for some foundation work. So foundation planning is different. What type of soil is there, how much foundation work we should go for, that means 15 foot or 20 foot, whether we should go for a ring foundation or pile foundation. Is it right? Then we are making the plan of our house. At what direction kitchen should be there, at what direction hall should be there, at what direction bedroom should be there, where from which side entry should be there, what's your gallery should be there. So we are mentioning all these things into the plan. We are checking the place, which type of place is there, what type of soil is there. Then foundation we are looking. Is it right? Then once foundation is over, then we are going for some wall that the columns and beams, whatever may be, then slab, wall. Then once this slab wall is over, your whatever the house building is there, it is over, or anything else is remaining? Just a wall, slab, and we can call it as the column beams are over. Foundation is over, wall, slab, and beams are over. Whether your house building is over or anything more is required. Shubham, faster. Shubham, Rutvik, yes, Rutvik. After the particular slab, that column, walls, and slab, whether your म्हणजे फक्त कॉलम बीम झालेत, 4 भिंती उभा राहिल्यात, म्हणजे तुमचं घर पूर्ण झालं का? Rutvik.
No, sir.
Then what is remaining? What is remaining? त्यात काय काय राहिलं अजून? पुढे सांगा, पटपट पटपट पट बोला.
Coloring, electricity.
Coloring राहिले, फिनिशिंग राहिले, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी राहिले, प्लंबिंग राहिले. Is it right? So everything is comes under this wall building. Sorry, house building. So let's say you have built one house, as you are means one house is built, and next day immediately or after that means first your house is constructed. Let's say it required 20 months to construct your house, your own house. Okay, and after 20 months, once your house is ready, on the next day your friend has started his house. Your friend has started his house. Whether your friend is copying your plan of house? शुभम, तुमच्या मित्राचं तुमचं घर पूर्ण झालंय बांधून आणि तुमच्या मित्रांनी घर बांधायला चालू केले, तर तुमचा मित्र तुम्ही जो प्लॅन फॉलो केलाय तोच करेल का वेगळा प्लॅन तयार करेल त्याच्या घराचा?
वेगळा करेल सर.
का? प्रोजेक्ट तर सेमच आहे की हाऊस बिल्डिंग. मग एकसारखे घर बांधायला काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे? शुभम फास्टर.
Design may be different, sir.
Design may be different. नंतर okay, that is design part.
Place,
Less okay. अजून
materials,
मटेरियल त्याची रिक्वायरमेंट वेगळी असेल, त्याला वेगळ्या पद्धतीने घर बांधायचं असेल. इज इट राईट? सो दॅट व्हॉट आय वॉन्ट टू टेल यू दॅट दो द प्रोजेक्ट नेम इज सिमिलर हाऊस बिल्डिंग फॉर यू अँड युअर फ्रेंड, बट in this particular same name project, the planning, scheduling, controlling is different. You have given your work to, let's say, one engineer or one contractor. He has completed his work within 20 months. Your friend may not give same work or his house building work to same contractor. He may give to other person. Then he may require little bit more days. He may complete his work maybe in 24 months. Or other contractor may complete his work within 15 months also. Because here for your contractor has completed the work within 20 months, it doesn't mean that his contractor or another particular project should be completed within same months. So this comes under this scheduling. So what is meant by each and everything? Planning. Planning is nothing but we are just focusing on how that project should be executed. We are making planning. We have to complete this particular stage, then we have to complete this stage, then we have to complete this stage, then we have to complete this stage. So that is nothing but planning. That means first take the survey of place, okay, then go for plan, sanction it for some municipality side, then start the foundation, then columns and beams, then wall, then finishing, then electricity work, plumbing work, then coloring, then finishing. So these are, we can call it as activities, and these activities are depending on each other. That means, for example, if I say electrician, just after foundation, can I go for electrician work? Nikita, after foundation, can I go for electrician work?
No, sir.
Why? What is the problem? This is one activity, this is one activity. Why? Why that is not possible?
Sir, we need to go stepwise.
Yeah, we need to go stepwise. Why we need to go stepwise? Because in this, some activities are depending on another activity. But electrician and coloring, can I go simultaneously these two activities? म्हणजे एका खोलीत इलेक्ट्रिशियनचं काम चालू आहे, ती खोली झाल्यानंतर लगेच त्या खोलीला कलर द्यायचं काम चालू होते, किंवा दुसऱ्या खोलीत कलर द्यायचं काम चालू आहे. कॅन वी गो फॉर दिस टू ऍक्टिव्हिटीज सायमल्टेनियसली, इलेक्ट्रिशियन अँड कलरिंग? Nikita, please reply.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that means there are certain activities which are dependent on the certain things. That means certain activities, and there are certain activities in a project which are independent. It can be run as simultaneously. That is what we are focusing here, to understand how the activities are there and what will be the relation of that activity. So this is the one task of our particular chapter, that we should understand the activity, then we should find out the relation between the activity. Second thing, scheduling. For each activity, how much time should be given? For example, जर आपल्याला स्लॅब टाकायचा असेल तर स्लॅब किती दिवसात काढतात शुभम? इन जनरल स्लॅब किती दिवसात काढते? शनेश्वर किती दिवसात काढते? कोणाला आयडिया? बी फास्ट. माहित असेल तर माहित आहे म्हणा, नाही नसेल तर नाही म्हणून सांगा. शुभम, राकेश, अजय, ऋत्विक, निकिता स्लॅब किती दिवसात काढते साधारणपणे? कुणाला माहिती आहे का नाही?
Sir, maybe 20 in between 20 days.
Yeah, correct. It may be 20 to 22 days. Is it right? So for every slab we are required to give 20 to 20 days of curing time. जे 20 ते 22 दिवसानंतर स्लॅब काढला जातो किंवा स्लॅब तयार होतो. How much time is required for electrician work? How much time is required for coloring work? Can anybody tell me? कलरिंग करायचं आहे किंवा इलेक्ट्रिशियनचं काम आहे, त्याला किती वेळ लागतो? 20-21 दिवस लागतात का? 20-21 दिवस लागतात का कलरिंगचं काम करायला? हा, नो. Yes, correct Shubham. No. Then how many days are required for electrician and coloring? If 21 days are not required for coloring and electrician, then how many days are required for coloring? Can anybody tell me? Shubham, किती दिवस लागतात? 10 to 12 days, or okay, 10 to 12 days. According to him, 10 to 12 days are required. That means we can say 1 week or 10 to 12 days. But for slab or some work, we require 20 to 20 days. Foundation work we may require 1 month. So each activity required different time schedule. What I want to say here, for each activity we required to go for different time schedule. In one time schedule, whatever maybe you have decided, suppose let's say 10 activities are there and you have decided that 10 activities should be completed within 60 days. So each activity should require 6 days. It is not like that. So each activity required different time schedule, the different time frame, and that is nothing but we can call it as the scheduling. So first we have to make the planning. In that we have to decide the activities, which activities are there. Let's say number 1 activity, number 2 activity, number 3 activity, 4 number, 5 number, etc. Then for each activity how many days are required? Let's say 10 to 12 days. Then for this 20 to 22 days. Then for this let's say 35 days. For 4th activity is 10 days. For 5th activity 5 days. So like this we have to go for scheduling, timing, and after 10 days we have to check. Let's say first activity required 10 to 12 days. So after 10 days or 12 days we have to check whether this first activity is completed or not. Is it right? म्हणजे जर घर बांधायला काढलं तर आपण जर म्हणतो की फाउंडेशन वर्क 30 दिवसात कंप्लीट झालं पाहिजे, तर 30 दिवसानंतर आपण बघितलं पाहिजे की फाउंडेशन वर्क संपलेलं आहे का नाही. जर नसेल तर आपल्याला त्या कॉन्ट्रॅक्टरला सांगावं लागेल की बाबा लवकर कर, काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे तुला. Is it right? So that is nothing but comes under this controlling part. So planning, scheduling and controlling. Controlling is nothing but we have to take follow up of each and activity. Controlling this particular planning, scheduling, it may be on paper. You can write on paper. You have to make the plan on paper. How many days are required? How your activity should be there. You can put the schedule, the dates also. Up to this date, this particular work should be completed, etc. And but controlling is actually follow up. You have to take the follow up. Let's say for first activity 10 to 12 days are required, and after 30 days yet first activity is not completed. Can you start second activity which is based on the first activity? तर पहिल्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीला जर 30 दिवस गेले तर पुढचं शेड्यूल तुमचं बिघडणार का आहे तसं राहणार? निकिता, पुढचं शेड्यूल आहे तसं राहणार का बिघडणार? हा निकिता, फास्ट. जर पहिल्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीला जर 30 दिवस लागले तुम्हाला, जी ऍक्टिव्हिटी तुमची 10 ते 12 दिवसात संपायला पाहिजे त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीला 30 दिवस लागले, तर पुढच्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज आहे तशाच राहणार का त्यांचं शेड्यूल बिघडणार पूर्णपणे? Nikita, Shubham, please reply me faster.
बिघडणार सर.
या बिघडणार. का बिघडणार? का तर पहिल्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीला तुमचे 4 दिवस गेलेले. So that means your scheduling will be get damaged and you are not taking proper controlling. So your project days maybe goes on increasing. So this is what we have to understand, and that is what comes under this particular first part. Any project involves planning, scheduling, and controlling a number of interrelated activities with the use of limited resources, namely man, machine, material, money, time. So if you take any project, let's say you are taking the project of house building, you require man, you require workers, you require certain machines, म्हणजे JCB लागल किंवा मिक्सर लागल किंवा anyone. Machines are required, materials required like bricks, sand, stones, crushers, cement. Money is required, time is required. If any one of these particular points, whatever this 4M is there and 1T, so 4M and T. So out of this, if anything is not with you, then you cannot execute the project. This is the reality. If you take any project, you want to develop your garage, you want to develop your house, you want to develop your workshop, or in industry you are working on certain projects, let's say modifications. Right now in automobile industries, the electric vehicle projects are going on. For that also persons are required, mechanical, electrical, different machines are required because previous engines are not working. Different type of material is required, money is required, time is required to feed these particular things. So whatever maybe project if you take, it required or it is having these many steps. These are the basic steps we can call it as the planning, scheduling, controlling, and execution. And within these stages, the interrelated activities are there, and that activities we have to complete with limited resources like man, machine, material, money, and time. And we have to make the balance between all these particular points. Let's say man is available, machines are available, but material is not available, raw material is not available. Whether these man and machines are useful? Definitely not. Material is available, but man, that worker, man part is not available. Only machine and material can work? No. Then machines are not available, man is available, material is available. So if you look at to this all the points, if anything is not present at the right time, right place, then there is a difficulty to execute the project. And we have to keep the balance between these all these things. At the same time, we have to concentrate on planning. What planning we have made, what scheduling, what is the schedule given to you. It is not like that. I have told you, you have to develop, just to say, for example, I have to just I am the owner or you are the owner, and you told to your subordinates or your worker that we have to develop new vehicle. Okay, so let's say new vehicle, new design of vehicle, and that particular work is going on for next 10 years. So whether whatever is today's concept is there, whether it is applicable after 10 years, Shubham?
No, sir.
Why? Why these concepts are not applicable after 10 years? Any reason? Nikita, any reason? Shubham, be fast. Whatever your answers are there, please tell me. Nikita, whether today's concepts are applicable after 10 years? Please reply faster. Shubham, Rakesh, are you there in meeting? Okay, so it is requiring now. It is required now, okay. But after 10 years, if you launch that concept, what will happen? Meanwhile, your competitor may take new development. They may deploy new vehicle in the market, and your vehicle design may be old. No customer will be there like this. That means we have to complete all this particular task within the time limit. It should not be more than time limit. That's why the scheduling part is completed. And where we are lagging, if we feel that we are lagging and this particular task is not completed within this much time, then we have to take the control part in our hand, and we have to run the project very fast. So the projects may be extremely large, complex, such as construction of house, highway, shopping complex. So these are called as a complex project. Complex project means at the same time, many people are required, many things are going on simultaneously. Okay, and another thing is that, so this is the one type of project where we are knowing what we have to do. Construction of house, construction of shopping malls, here already plan is made. And according to that particular plan, we have to just execute. We have to just construct. Or new vehicle, already design is ready, and we have to just prepare that vehicle. But there are certain projects, so all projects are not comes under this all the particular point, but there are different types of project, like introduction of new products or research and development project. Let's say I have to develop one satellite. How much time it required to develop the satellite? How much time is required? Can anybody tell me? Shubham, how much time is required to develop the satellite? Nikita, how much time required to develop the satellite? Make it fast, please reply. How much time is required to develop the satellite, Nikita? Shubham. Ritvik.
Maybe 10 years, sir.
Huh?
7 or 10 years.
Okay. And for house construction, how much time is required?
6 to 8 months.
Those projects are two projects, but why time limit is different? Why time limit is different? Because in the first project, construction of house, we are knowing what is the end point, what will be the stages. But in development of satellite, we are not knowing what is the end stage. Still we are doing that project. So there are two types of projects are there. One is called as time-based projects. One is called time-based projects. So in which all this comes under this particular time-based project, like construction of house, highway construction, shopping mall construction, or vehicle construction, or whatever may be. And there are second type of projects is called as research projects, research and development projects, or no time limit projects, where development of particular new parts are there, new products are there, satellite research. So these projects are comes under this particular category, no time limit considerations, no time limit project. So in our chapter, what there are two definitions or 2 points are there in the starting only. So time based projects are called as, this first time based projects are called as CPM. So that is the critical path method. So I will explain this, what is critical path method. But these are solved, or these are we can call it as for such a projects where time based are limited time is there, or time based projects are there. For that we are using CPM method. And unlimited time is there, or some we can call it as no time relation is there. These are called as PERT, P-E-R-T. So these two, whatever the names are there in the chapter. So here at the initial, I have told you there are what is the CPM and PERT. So both are project techniques, project evaluation techniques, where we can evaluate the projects, but where these are used, that is we have discussed right now. In this we have discussed what is meant by project, what planning is there, what is meant by scheduling, what is meant by controlling. Is it right? Then what different types of projects are there? Time based projects, non-time based projects. So time based projects are evaluated through CPM method, non-time based projects are evaluated through PERT method. Okay, so this is the introductory part. It is required to managers must have dynamic planning and scheduling system to produce best possible results, and also to react immediately to change the conditions and make the necessary changes in the plan and schedule. So this particular parts comes under the particular quality of the manager, quality of the project manager. So project manager is the big, we can call it as a post in the industry, project manager. So he has the particular every right to make the changes in the project, and that particular manager should be understand the what difficulties may come into the particular stages, at what stages the difficulties are coming, then what steps we should require to take to modify that particular stages, and how we can overcome to that particular stages, and how we can change the plan and schedule of the project immediately, so that whatever the deliver point is there, their delivery time is there, it should not get increased, it should be remain constant. So let's say house building project is there, and you have made that particular we can call it the agreement that at after 20 months you will be giving this particular completely house to the customer. So that 20-month, whatever after 20 months, whatever date is coming, that is deadline for you, and within the deadline you have to work. So if anything comes, whatever maybe the difficulties comes under the at the time of running the project, so you have to change the dynamically that planning, and you have to change the scheduling. Sometimes you require to conduct the activity a little bit faster, sometimes you require to activity little bit slower, but you have to make the change very fast, and you have to react to that particular change very fast, and whatever the deadline is there, that we have to follow. So this is comes under the quality of the manager. So here in this particular point we are just looking to the technical aspects of the project. So this quality of the manager you might be learning in the another subject like production and management. Okay, so this is we can call it as the introduction of the projects. Then here already the definition is there. A convenient analytical and visual techniques of PERT and CPM prove extremely valuable in assisting the managers to managing the project. So these two techniques are there. These two techniques are used to assess the project, whether project is up to this stage, what type of at what stage this particular project is there, then how this particular project can be run faster, or how much activities are over, which activities are lagging. So that is understood by these two techniques, CPM and PERT. So in this, what is the PERT? PERT long form is project evaluation and review technique. So all of you must remember this particular long forms, because based on this your MCQs may be there. Okay, so PERT stand for project evaluation and review technique. So this, if you look at the historical part, it is developed during 1950s. It developed during 1950s. The technique was developed and used in conjunction with planning and designing of polarized missile project. Polarized missile project. So what are the missiles we have to develop? So for that particular development of missile, this technique was used, and it found it is very easy, and then it can be used in industry. CPM stands for critical path method. So long form of CPM, it is critical path method. Long form of PERT, PERT, project evaluation and review technique. This critical path method, which was developed by DuPont company and applied first to construction projects in the chemical industry. So this particular CPM method was developed by DuPont company and it is applied for construction project in chemical industry. So industry construction, okay, so that is different task. Industry construction is different task. It requires much more time, much more manpower, much more resources, etc. So to control the project, to identify the project, whether it is at the correct time or not, what activities are lagging, what activities are ahead. So for that, this particular CPM method was used. Through both PERT and CPM techniques have similarity in terms of concept. So both techniques are not that much difficult. Both are similar in concept, but basic difference is PERT is used for analysis of project scheduling problems, and CPM has single time estimate, and PERT has 3 time estimate. So in these two techniques, if you look at to differentiate, then in particular CPM we are using only single time estimate, and in PERT we are using 3 time estimate. Okay, so time estimate means what? So for each activity there are time is given. Let's say I can say foundation work of construction of house. Okay, so foundation work, for that let's say I have given 30 days. Okay, so this is we can call it as the CPM, single time estimate. But in PERT 3 time estimates are given. How the 3 time estimates are given, I will not tell right now. At the time of PERT I will explain. But what are this for this activity? This is we can call it as a duration, or this is we can call it as a scheduling. This is the activity we can call it as the, and for that activity this is the duration, or this is the scheduling. So this particular thing is already there, is given, and based on that we have to find the probability, time estimate for the activity, and use the probability theory to find the chance of reaching the scheduled time. Then we have to find which will be the probable time of this particular completion of the project. Not only we have to find the completion of the project, but in this project what are the critical activities. So what is meant by critical activities? Critical activities is nothing but the activities which are more important. That activity also we can able to find. Okay, so if you take the house construction project, foundation work, critical activity, column and beam, critical activity, wall construction, critical activity, whether coloring is critical activity or general activity. Nikita, Shubham, coloring is critical activity or general activity? Hello Nikita.
Generals.
Shubham, correct, general activity. Why it is general activity? Or column and beam or wall construction is critical activity. Why it is critical activity? Shubham, why wall construction is critical activity? Shubham, be fast.
Accuracy is important, sir.
Not accuracy. Wall construction is critical activity. Why? Without wall, whether any house is produced?
No, sir.
But without color, we can live in the house.
Yes.
So that is what we have to understand. म्हणजे जर भिंतीच जर नसतील घराला तर त्या घरात कोण राहणार, किंवा त्या घराला घर म्हणता येईल का, किंवा त्यात राहायचं कसं? पण भिंती बांधलेल्या आहेत पण त्याला कलर दिलेला नाहीये, आपण त्या घरात राहू शकतो. and we are the people from the we can call it as the villager sides. So we are knowing we are building the house, and after 2 to 3 years we are giving the color to that house, but still we can live it. But if there is no walls, whether we can live in that house? No. That means house, for a house building, this wall construction is the critical activity, but coloring is not critical activity. Yes, we have defined this particular these two activity, whether this is the critical activity and this is non-critical activity through our experience. We have decided it through our experience. But if the project is unknown to you, and in this unknown project, if I told you what is the critical activity and what is the non-critical activity, how you can decide it? So for that particular way also, this CPM technique or this PER technique may help you. It will tell you the critical activities, and whatever the path is followed by involving that critical activity, that's why the name is given critical path method. So what is this critical path method is there? That means the path is going through the critical activities. Okay, and for that we have to first develop network diagram. Whatever the particular points are given, the activities and schedule or time is given, through this we have to develop network diagram. How we can develop? So here again, we are just going for glimpse of this planning, scheduling and controlling points before going to the network diagram. Planning involves setting the objective of project, identifying the various activities to be performed, and determining the requirement of resources such as man, material and machine. So this is the extra, we can call it as the points related to planning. What do you mean by planning? Planning is nothing but setting the objective, nothing but setting the target of the project, and identifying the various activities performed, and for that activity performance what things are required, that is raw material, main machine, what is required. So identify that particular all the points is nothing but the planning. The cost and time of all activities are estimated, and network diagram is developed showing sequential interrelationship, that is preceders and succeeders. Preceders means previous activity, and succeeders means next activity. So this is instead of previous and next, here we are using the technical words, that is called preceders and succeeders. Okay, so preceders means previous activity and successor means next activity. So early activity and next activity, that we have to understand, and between these next two activities we have to develop the network diagram. So how that network diagram is developed? So we will take example and then we will look at how to develop this network diagram. It is not that much difficult to develop network diagram. Okay, then scheduling. What do you mean by scheduling? Based upon time estimate, the start and finish time of each activity are worked. So based on the information given to you, you have to find what is the start time of activity and what is the finish time of activity. Let's say there are 3 activities. So this is start at 0th day. That means it is start at 0th day or first day, we can call it. It is start at first day. So let's say this is the A activity, B activity and C activity. A activity start at first day and ends at, let's say, 8th day. Then B activity will start on 8th day and it will complete on 15th day. Then C activity will start on the 15th day and last day it will reach to the end point, we can call it as the D point, on the 20th day. That means whatever your this particular project is there, it required these activities, these points, and it will be completed within 20 days. It will completed within 20 days. So this particular is nothing but the time estimate, that is the start and finish time of the each activity. So start time is first day, end time is 8th day. For second activity, start time is 8th day and finish time is 15th day. For third activity, start time is 15th day and end time is 20th day. Okay, so for each activity are worked out by applying forward and backward pass technique. So this is we are just looking at the forward pass. One more concept is there, that is we can call it as the backward pass. So we have to take comeback. So that means this activity ends on the 20th day, but it is started on the 15th day. So like that backward pass is there. So at the time of example, I will tell you how that backward pass is come into the picture. Then critical path is identified along with slack and float for the non-critical path. So we have to make some calculations to identify the critical path and slack and float timings. So that definitions are there, and non-critical path. So we will take the example and we will find out. Then controlling. Controlling refers to analyzing and evaluating the actual process against the plan. This is a very important definition of the controlling. What is meant by controlling? We have to make the analysis at each and every stage. Analysis and evaluating with what? Actual process and plan. So already we have made the plan. In planning section, we have made the plan. We will start this activity at this particular point. We will end this activity at this particular point. So like this planning was made. So with that planning and what is the actual progress is there, if you compare, then you will understand the difference, or you will understand that whether all the activities are correctly running or on time running. So that analyzing and evaluating between actual work and planned work is nothing but the controlling part. Okay, so this is the points related to this particular part is there. So if you look at, so when we are going for activities and when we are going for that network diagram, we must understand what is the event and what is the particular node point. Sorry, node point and what is the activity, and how these activities are shown in the network diagram. So CPM and PERT, if you look at these networks, this contains two major components. One is called activity and one is called event. One is called activity and one is called event. So there are, we can call it the minor difference is there between event and activity. So there are two diagrams are there are in front of you, and in both the diagrams same figure is there, that I, it is written in the circle, in next circle J is written and one arrow is shown. Okay, so these look like a same diagram, but here on arrow one word is written, that is A. So this particular A or this arrow which is coming from I and reaching to J, so this arrow indicate activity, and activity represent an action and consumption of resources. What is meant by activity? What is meant by activity? If I told you go and take the 500 meter round on the ground, so that is called activity. When you are running, when your energy's consumption is takes place, your time is there, is it right? Your physical movements are there, so that is we can call it as the activity. That means consumption of energy, consumption of time, consumption of money, whatever is there in the consumption points, so that is called the activity. So this is the A activity. So here in this diagram the activity is A activity. So this I is not activity, J is not activity. Activity is A activity. Then what is called? This I is called as event and this J is called as event. Event or node will always occur at the beginning and at the end of the activity. So this is, we can call it a little bit rest point. In that project language we can call it as the rest point or the node points where the activity can be changed, where the activity can be changed. Let's say if I said here like this, if I draw the diagram, so what it tells, so from this point to this point one activity is there, from this point two activities are started simultaneously, one is going to this side, one is going to this side. So this is the, we can call it as the event point or node point, and from this the different activities are started. Okay, so an activity represent an action that and consumption of resources, that is time, money and energy required to complete a portion of project. Okay, activity is represented by an arrow. So such type of MCQ may be there for you people. Activity is represented by arrow or activity is represented by circle. So such type of MCQs may be there. Okay, so here you have to keep in mind that activity is represented by an arrow. Then event. An event will always occur at the beginning and at the end of the activity. So this is nothing but event. So this is called as tail event. Tail means backside and head means forward side. So tail event and back event. So whatever the back event is there, that is from where the arrow is coming out, so that is called tail event, and where that arrow head is there or arrow is pointing towards which event, that is called as head event, because that is the next event for this activity. So this A activity, for this A activity, this is the back event, this is the head event. If I will draw like this further, so let's say here B activity and C activity. So for B and C, the J event will be become tail event, and whatever the next events will be there this side, it will become the head event. So this position of head events and tail events, it is for that activity only. It is not the permanent one. Is it right? That head event and tail events are not permanent. These are related to that activity. If for this activity, if it is tail event, but for previous activity, it may be head event. So here, these events are at the beginning of the activity or at the end of the activity. The events has no resources. It is represented in circle. So events are represented in circle. Okay. In circle, whatever the numbers, whatever points are represented, it is nothing but events. The ith event and jth event are the trail event and head event respectively. Already I told you. Back event is called as trail event and forward event is called as head event. Backward event is called as trail event. Forward event is called as trail event. Sorry, head event. So this is the, we can call it as the details about activity and event. Okay. Then there are again further concepts are there. Because when we are representing the network, in this network there are different concepts are coming. So first concept is merge event. So already we are knowing what is meant by event. Event is indicated by circle and activity is indicated by arrow. So what is meant by merge event? What is meant by merging? Merging is nothing but clubbing of the two things. Is it right? So this merging event or merging is nothing but clubbing. That means when there is an event where the n number of activities or more than one activities are can end, it is called as merge event. That means this is the event, and here if only one activity is coming, then I will not say this is the merging. Simple, this is the head event. But if two activities are coming, so two activities are merging at this particular point. So this is called the merge event. If another activity is coming here and it is ending at this particular point, so this particular event is called as merging event, where three activities are going to be end. Is it right? So this is the, we can call it as a critical point where the three events are going to be ends. This is, we can call it as the end of the event. Similarly, if from that event, if three activities are coming out, so one is going to this direction, one is going to this direction, one is going to this direction, that indicate, so this event is blasting the activities. So this is again critical event or critical point from where the number of activities are released. So in diagram, we have to understand that what will be the merging event and what will be the bursting event. So merging events are nothing but the events at which different activities are going to be merged. Different activities are going to be in. And the event, burst event, is nothing but from where the different activities are coming out. That means from that point, different activities can start. This is called burst event and this is called merge event. At the same time, already we have discussed this preceding and succeeding. So preceding activities and succeeding activities. That means activities performed before given event is known as preceding activity. Means first previous activities are called as preceding activities, and activities performed after event are known as succeeding activities. That is next activity. If in this diagram, if this is a network diagram, so this first node is called as burst node or merge node. Which node we can call it as? Please reply faster. For this node, what node we can call it as? Burst node or merge node? For this I node, what we can call it as? Shubham, Nikita, faster. Shaneshwar?
First node.
Burst node. Why? Because from this node, two activities are coming out. And whatever this last one number node is there, for this, what node we can call it as? Burst or merge? Merge node. Correct. And in between, what is this? Two points are there, J and K. These are, we can call it as the simple nodes. These are intermediate nodes. And from I to J, activity A is conducted. Activity A is conducted. From I to K, activity B is conducted. From J to 1, C activity is conducted. Here, A and B are called as preceding activities, that is first activities or previous activities. And this C and this D, these are called as succeeding activities, that means forward activities, next activities. So A and B are the preceding activities or preceding activities, and C and D are the succeeding activities. Means unless and until this A and B is not completed, we cannot start C and D activity. That means when A activity is completed, then and then C activity can start. When this B activity is completed, then and then we can start D activity. So these are called as preceding activities and these are called as succeeding activities. Okay, all of you understood this point? Reply fast. Any doubt? Any doubt? Nikita, Shubham, faster. Okay. Okay. Then we'll go next. Then the next concept is of dummy activity. Dummy activity. Dummy activity nothing but there is no activity, but still with the help of dotted line, we have to show the certain things. With the help of dummy activity, we have to show certain things. Certain things means, let's take the example. Let's take the example of, we can call it as the house building, our project. Foundation work, I will say F activity. Then columns and beams. I say C activity here. Then wall construction, W activity. Is it right? Then after column and beam, next activities I can say here the slab activity. Yes, slab. Whether there is any connection of wall and slab, is there is any connection of wall and slab? Please reply me faster. Nikita, Shubham, is there is any connection between wall and slab?
No, sir.
No. But still, what I want that slab should be completed after wall construction. So I will just draw one dotted line here, dotted activity like this. That means what it indicate? It indicate that after completion of column, we can go for slab activity. But because of the dotted line, it tells that no, only column is not required. At the same time, wall is also required. Actually, there is no connection between wall and slab. There is no connection between wall and slab. But the wall and slab dummy connection is shown by this dummy activity. That means after completion of this column and after completion of wall, we can go for slab activities. Do you understand this? The dummy connection. Do you understand this dummy connection? Any doubt in this dummy connection? Anyone? Any doubt in this dummy connection? Okay. So this is called as dummy activity. So what is meant by dummy activity? An imaginary activity which does not consume any resource and time is called dummy activity. Dummy activities are simply used to represent a connection between events in order to maintain the logic in the network. So we have to maintain the logic in network. So that is called dummy activity. Most of the time, dummy activity is represented by a dotted line. It is represented by dotted line. It is not represented by dark continuous line. Okay, so we can call it as this is a continuous line. This is we can call it as a dotted line. So dummy activity is represented by dotted line, and the firm activity is represented by continuous line. This dummy activity sometimes we require to introduce into the particular network so that it can complete the network. The logic of the network can be completed. Okay, this is dummy activity. Then these are the some activities. So these are the some rules we have to follow during this network formation. What rules we have to follow during network formation, or errors to be avoided during network construction. So what activities, what rules we should follow? Two activities starting from one point must not have same end point. Means from this first node, two activities are started and both activities are ending at second number point. It should not be there. If two activities are started from this particular point, then two activities must be complete separately. To ensure this, it is absolutely necessary to introduce an dummy activity. So if you want to show that this activity is also depending on this activity, then you can show with the help of dummy activity like this. So it is here shown from first node, two arrows are coming. It is going to 2, and then from second to third, dummy, that dotted line is shown. So it indicates that whatever the activity starting from third point, it should be start when these two activities will be get completed. Is it right? There is connection between this activity and this activity, and logically it is indicated by this dummy activity. So such a thing should not be there in network, that from one point two activities are releasing and these are ending at same point. Yes, it can be there that different two activities can end at one point. That will be possible. So we are calling it as the merging node. Two activities can be end at one point, so we can understand it like this. But it should not be like that, from one point it is releasing and at one point it is ending. So such a situation should be avoided. So this is not correct. If such a situation is coming into the network, we have to represent such situation with the help of dummy activity. This is the first error we have to avoid. Then second error, that looping error, cyclic error or cyclic path should not be formed in the network. It represents performance of activities are repeatedly in cyclic manner. So like this, from A to B, B to C, A first to second, second to third, and again third to one. So such cyclic path should not be there. So this is not correct diagram. So this is, we can call it as the looping error. Okay, so looping error, why it is not there? Because from first to second, this A activity is there. Let's say A, then B, and then C. A completed, then B start. B completed, C start. C completed, then A start. So within these points only, this net point things will be rotating. So where is the start point and where is the end point? Can you tell me? In cyclic path, there is we are not able to find out the start point and the end point. Okay, so which is the start point? Somebody say number one is start point. Why? As number one is one. Why not number two is start point? So like this, and which will be the third end point? First is the end point. Why? C activity is ending at here. But after this again, A activity is starting, no? So like this, when the cyclic path is there, we are not able to find out start point, end point, and such a situation should be avoided in the network diagram. So this is called looping error or cyclic path error. It should not be there. In the network diagram, there should be only one start point and one end point. So this is the start point and this is the end point. No, here both activities are coming from one point and ending at 2 points. So this is not the correct. So this is the start point, we can call it as the start point, and this is the end point where dummy activity and these activities are ending. So start point and end point should be one and it should be different. At the same time, the direction of arrows should be from left to right. That means only this side, like this. So left to right. So why left to right? Because at left side we are writing starting point, and at right hand side we are writing ending point. That's why the arrow direction should be left to right only. It should not be right to left. If it is right to left, then it may represent like this. That is, we can call it as a cyclic error or wrong direction of the arrows. Okay, so these are the some, we can call it as the precautions we should take at the time of network development. Because if your network is not developed correctly, then there may be the problem, and that your particular whatever the analysis is there, it may not be correct. So this particular point we have to consider. We have to take in our mind that we should not say that start point and end point for two activities should be same. Cyclic error should be understood, and it is, we can call it as eliminated. Then network should have only one start point and one end point, and the arrow direction should be from left to right, as we are representing left side as a particular we can call it as the start point, and right hand side we can indicating as a end point. So these errors these small precautions we should take at the time of network development, or we can call it as the diagram development. If you follow this all the things and if you develop the correct diagram, then and then we can able to solve the critical path method problems, or we can call it as the CPM PERT, project evaluation and um, review techniques problem very easily, and easily we can understand whether this activity is completed within the time or whether this activity is not completed within the time, etc. Then rules for network construction of networks. There are certain rules we have to follow. What rules we have to follow? No single activity can be represented more than once in a network. That means I cannot say like this, from this point to this point and this point to this point. For both activity, I should give a name. Is it right? So if a activity is there, if it is from, let's say, 1 to 2, then for 1 to 3, I should use different name. Let's say B. Same name I should not use. That means one activity should be represented once in a network. It should not be repeated in the network. That rule we have to understand. The event numbered 1. So in circle, if the event is numbered 1, it is start point or start event. And event with the largest number is the end event. So let's say 20 activities are there, 30 activities are there, 10 activities are there. Number of activities may be different, but start node should be indicated by number 1. And when you are going further, 2, 3, then let's say 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then this side 8, and last should be 9. This 9 number is the last event or last point. Okay, so highest number should be at last, and at first, at start point, there is always 1 should be there. So these precautions we should take care at the time of the particular construction of network. Length of arrow has no significance. So there is nothing like that. You are drawing a larger arrow, it indicates more time. And if you are drawing small arrow, it indicates lesser time. It doesn't mean any, we can call it as there is no any relation of time with this particular arrow size. You can draw any length of arrow, whatever is suitable for that diagram. Okay, so just we have to take the care about node points. The starting node and ending node should not be having different points. Most of the times start node should be indicated with number 1, and end node should be indicated with highest number. Highest number sequentially, whatever may be the highest number is coming, so that should be indicated at the end. Then event number, that is 1. Before an activity can undertaken, all activities preceding must be completed. So if let's say for this, like these things are there, so I will just rough middle line. So I will write here 2 number, I will write here 3 number, I will write here 4, then 5, and it will be end at 6. Let's say. So let's say give the name A, B, C, D, E, and F. So in this particular, A and B are the preceding activities, and C and D are the succeeding activities. For just I am talking about this side. Is that right? So before completion of A, C cannot be start. Before completion of B, D cannot be start. Similarly, for E and F, these are the succeeding activities, and C and D are the preceding activities. Means before completing C, E cannot start, and before completing D, F cannot start. C complete झाल्याशिवाय E चालू करायचे नाही, D complete झाल्याशिवाय F चालू करायचे. Is it right? So preceding activities and succeeding activities, we have to take care between these two. We have to understand what will be the preceding activities and what will be the succeeding activity, and according to that only we should follow the network. In assigning numbers to event, there should not be any duplications. So this is again important point. So once for this node one number is given, so for this number you cannot say 1A or 1B. No, it should not be there. So duplication of the numbers node point should be avoided. Once one number is given, so that will be the completely for that node. So that number should not be repeated. Okay, so that number should not be repeated. It should be once only. The number of events should be given once. Then dummy activities must be used only if necessary, because dummy activity. Okay, so this what we are talking about this particular numbers. Okay, dummy activity should not be introduced anywhere. Whenever it is required, it should be introduced because it increases the complexity of the particular network. So to avoid the complexity, to reduce the complexity, dummy activity should not be introduced anywhere. Network should have only one start event and only one event. That is already we have discussed. Only one start point should be there and only one end point should be there. It should not be with two start point and two end point, etc. should be there. Is it right? So these some rules we have to understand during the particular network construction, that diagram construction. If we follow these rules, then it will be very easy to develop the network. Then some connections of network diagram shown in the following figure. So some typical diagrams or typical points which are used in network diagram, these are shown here. A, B, C, D. Activity B can be performed after completing activity A. So we can call it this is the preceding activity. This is simple, straightforward activities. We can call it as the, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So simple activities are there. Straightforward activities are there. Here A is preceding activity for B. B is the succeeding activity for A. B is the preceding activity for C. C is the succeeding activity for B. That means when A completed, then B can start. B completed, C can start. Okay. So this is the one thing. Second, it is represented like this way. A is the preceding activity. B and C are the succeeding activity. B and C can start after completing A. B and C can start after completing A. This second node is called as burst node, from where two activities are coming out. Then if I give the next 1, 2, 3, 4. Here B, A and B are called as preceding activities and C is called as succeeding activity. And this third node is called as merge node. This is merge node. We can call it, this is the burst node. So merge node, third number, here burst node, second number. Why the merge node is there? A and B activities are merging here. Is it right? Then this is the last diagram, that is use of the dummy activity. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the start point, this is the end point. A activity is started, then B activity is started, then B is depending upon A, so that's why arrow is shown. That means C activity must start. Where, what is I'm saying? C activity must start after completing this A and B. Without completing this A and B, C should not be start. Why? Because this C activity is sometimes somebody may ask like this question: why C activity is depending upon B? C activity is only depending upon A. Because when A activity is completed, we can start C activity. No. That's why the relation of C activity and B activity is shown by this dummy arrow. The dummy arrow from this to this indicate that B activity when completed, then and then you can start the C activity. But there is no any relation for D activity and A activity. There is no any relation for D and A, these two activity, no relation. Why? Because there is no any dummy arrow. But there is a relation of B and C activity because of dummy arrow. How it can be understood? Because dummy arrow is pointing towards upward where third node is there, and from third node C activity started. That's why there is a relation between B and C. If this arrow, if I will rub this arrow upward side, and if I draw this downward arrow, in that case there is a no connection for B and C. So for this, no connection, but there is a connection between A and D. When A is completed, then and then D can start. So this arrow direction tells me the downward direction. It is coming from 3 to 4, and when 3 is completed, when A is completed. So there, when A is completed, then and then this D can be started. So like this, the arrow directions are very important while indicating the dummy activity. Here in this diagram, there is a connection, no connection of A and D activity, but there is a connection of B and C activity. Any doubt in this? Have you understood this point of dummy activity? Shubham, Nikita, have you understood this particular dummy point, dummy activity point? Any doubt in this? Okay. Okay. Any other? Shaneshwar, Sadashiv, Sambhaji, Rohan, Vipendra, Kunal, Diksha. Any doubt? Please reply me. Unmute yourself and please reply. Anyone? Please reply. Unmute yourself. Sadashiv, any doubt? Shaneshwar? Any doubt? Okay. Let's go to the next. Then, while developing the network diagram, we must follow the Fulkerson rule. This rule is very, we can call it as the simple rule, and we have to follow this Fulkerson rule. Number of start or initial event as 1. This is the step number 1. That is already we have discussed. Number event should be start with number 1. It should not be start with any other number. Event should be always start with number 1. From event 1, strike of all outgoing activities. This would have made one or more event as an initial event. Event which does not have incoming activities, then number that event 2. Okay. So how these particular things are there, we will take one example, draw the network, and we will take example. Repeat step 2 for event 2, event 3, until the end event. The end event must have highest number. So it's simple. Start event should be 1. You can start draw this like this way, 2, 3, and then it should be end at 4. Okay. So this is the simple rule is there. Fulkerson rule about numbering at the events. So how these particular things will be there, how this network should be prepared. So let's take one example and we will solve this. So here, already whatever example we have taken, sequence of activities for house construction project is given. Okay, so sequence of activities for house construction project is given, and for this each and every activity, how many times are required in days, it is shown. So time duration in days, it is also given to us in the one column. So how this table is indicated? Table indicated activity A, what will be the start point and what will be the end point, and description of that activity. What A activity means, what? Prepare the house plan. This is, we can call it the description of the activity. Prepare the house plan. This is the A activity. Then B activity, construct the house. C activity, fix doors and windows. E activity, wiring the house. E activity, paint the house. And F activity, polish the doors and windows. These 6 activities are there. We can call it as 6 activities as we have measured 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D, E, F. Then which activity should from which to which point? That node point is also given. From 1 to 2, A activity is there. From 2 to 3, second activity is there. For 3 to 4, third activity. 3 to 5, 4 to 6, and 5 to 6. So these node points are already given. If not, we have to adjust it, okay, according to the information. Then here preceded activities are given. That means before this activity, which activity should be completed. These preceded activities are given and number of days are given. And with the help of this information, we have to construct the network. How the next network will be constructed? This is the number node 1. Prepare the house plan. This first activity. So 1 to 2. So this first activity is completed in 1 to 2. So A activity, in bracket we can say 4 days, that time duration. Then second activity, construct the house, 2 to 3. So from 1 to 2, first activity completed. From 2 to 3, second activity completed, construct the house. That is again second activity, construct the house. B activity, how many days are required? 58 days are required. Once we reach to the third point, from third point or third node, 2 activities are starting. It is shown in the particular diagram here. 3 to 4 and 3 to 5, C and D. 3 to 4 is C, 3 to 5 is D. So from 3 to 4 it is C, that fix the door, 2 days are required. 3 to 5 D, wiring the house, 2 days are required. Then E, 4 to 6, paint house, 1 day is required. Why? Time is given in this side. So I am not taking my time from my mind. It is already given here. And from 5 to 6, polish the door, 1 day is required. So, and 6 is the end point, end node. So here your project will be finished, end point, and we can call it, this is the start point. Is it right? Then whether these preceding and succeeding parts are followed, we have to understand that also. Whether these preceding and succeeding parts are followed. For A activity, which is the preceder? No preceder is there. That's why this is the first activity. So there is no preceder. So from starting point, starting node, it is coming out. For B activity, which is the preceder? A activity is preceder. So for B activity, A is the preceder. Condition is followed. For C activity, which is the preceder? B is the preceder. For C activity, B is the preceder. Okay, condition is followed. For D activity, B is the preceder. For D activity, B is the preceder. Condition is followed. For E activity, C is the particular preceder. For E activity, C is the preceder. Condition is followed. For D activity, F activity is the, sorry, for F activity, D is the precedent. For F activity, D is the precedent. Condition is followed. So whatever information is given in this table, with the help of that information, we have prepared this particular network diagram. And this network diagram is very simple. It hardly how much time it requires. Can anybody tell me? Hardly how much time it requires. Whether it is too much difficult, whether this construction of diagram is too much difficult. Okay, Nikita, Shaneshwar, Sadashiv, can you unmute? Okay, so this is, we can call it as the construction of diagram with the help of this event and activities. With the help of this events and activities. So here in construction diagram, what we have to understood, how this particular diagram is prepared. We have to start with some event, then node represent or circle represent an event, activity shown on the arrows. What rules we have to follow? Arrow should be from left to right, start point should be one, end point should be same. Cyclic error should be avoided. Is it right? Then we can use burst nodes or merge nodes in the diagrams, but it should be used properly. We can use dummy activities with the help of dotted line, and thick line or continuous line indicate the current activity or important activity. Dotted line indicate dummy activity. Diagram should be start from the left, it should be end at right hand side. So this particular flow of the diagram should be maintained. The number of nodes should be given in increasing manner. Increasing manner means start point should be one and highest number should be end point. Highest number should be end point. That is what we are calling. Then we have understood what is the preceding activities and what is succeeding activities. So there is a relation between preceding activities and succeeding activities. Succeeding activities when it starts, when the preceding activities are completed. Then and then succeeding activities will start. Is it right? So these particular points we have to understood. Then for 4 days arrow and for 58 days arrow, the arrow length is same. The arrow length is same. That means, or for 1 day, for E activity for 1 day, a little bit bigger arrow I have drawn. It shows that the arrow length is not on the time duration. It is as per the requirement of the diagram. As time duration is more, that means we have to draw longer arrow. Time duration is less, that means we have to draw smaller arrow. It should not be there. Arrow length is not depending upon the time duration. As per our feasibility of the diagram, we can use the arrow length. Dummy activity. When dummy activity should be introduced in the particular diagram, when there is a necessity to show the relationship between two activities. Unnecessarily, the dummy activity should not be introduced in the diagram to increase the complexity of the diagram. Is it right? So if you follow these some rules, these simple rules, then it will be very easy to understand or to draw the diagrams. Once you draw this diagram, then further part is comes for the particular calculations. So float and float calculation or critical path identification. So that part comes under next. So that part we will take tomorrow.